Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a report from Esperion Therapeutics. And let me tell you, it involves a lot more stock than you can shake a stick at, trust me. By the end of this, you'll understand why stock options can be both a carrot and a stick for a company. Esperion held their annual meeting in May. The big news? Stockholders voted on some important stuff, including a proposal to give out a whole lot more stock. This is important because it can affect how much of the company each stockholder owns and also how much the executives get paid. Think of it as splitting a pizza. If you have more people, you need a bigger pizza. Before we get started, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below, so come join us. Esperion had its yearly meeting in May. One of the key things that came out of it was a vote to change the company's stock plan. Basically, they wanted to increase the number of shares available to give to employees as rewards or incentives. These rewards are called stock options and are usually given to executive officers. The reason for this change is that the stockholders approved an amendment to the Esperion Therapeutics Inc. 2022 stock option and incentive plan as amended. This amendment increased the number of shares they can hand out by 6,250,000 shares. That's a lot of shares. This means they now have a bigger pool of stock to use for things like attracting new talent, keeping current employees happy, and generally motivating people to work hard. Now, let's talk about the actual voting at the annual meeting. To vote at the meeting, you have to own stock. The company checks who owns the stock on a specific date called the record date. In this case, it was in April. On that date, there were nearly 200 million shares that could be voted. At the meeting, people holding over half of those shares showed up either in person or by proxy, meaning there were enough people present to make decisions. They voted on a few things. First, they elected 2 directors, Jay Shepard and Seth Fisher, to the board of directors. The job of directors is to make decisions for the company. They approved how much the top executives get paid. This vote doesn't force the company to do anything, but it gives them an idea of what the stockholders think. They also confirmed that Ernst & Young LLP will be the company's accountants for the year. Finally, there was that vote on the stock plan we talked about earlier. Let's check some numbers. For the director nominees, for Jay Shepard, about 75 million voted in favour, while 23 million chose to withhold their vote. And for Seth Fisher, 83 million voted in favour, while about 15 million chose to withhold their vote. The broker non-votes refer to shares held by brokers who didn't receive instructions from their clients on how to vote. They don't directly impact the outcome. As for the executive pay, 70 million were for, 26 million against, and 1 million abstained. Abstain means they don't want to vote. When it comes to appointing Ernst & Young as their accountants, 118 million voted for, 16 million against, and 2 million abstained. It looks like everyone wanted Ernst & Young to stay. And finally, for the stock plan, 75 million voted for, 22 million voted against, and 816,000 abstained. Exhibit 10.1 includes Esperion Therapeutics Inc. 2022 stock option and incentive plan and its amendments. This is the actual document that outlines how the stock plan works, who gets stock options and how they can use them. It's important because it explains the rules and regulations around those extra 6,250,000 shares. Now, looking at these events, it seems Esperion is trying to keep its employees and executives happy. By increasing the number of available shares, they can offer better incentives and attract new talent. This could lead to more innovation and better performance in the future. However, stockholders are also not happy with the executive compensation plans. However, there's a risk of handing out too much stock. If they give away too many shares, it can dilute the value of the stock that existing stockholders own. In simpler terms, each share becomes worth less because there are more shares overall. It's like cutting a cake into too many slices, each person gets a smaller piece. Based on these numbers and considerations, Esperion seems to be taking steps to grow and motivate its team. The key will be managing the stock plan wisely to balance employee motivation with stockholder value. Alright, that's our breakdown of Esperion's latest filing. What's your take on these votes and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description, and thanks for watching. See you next time.